Bonjour and welcome to the Vegan Cook's Passport, where I aim to cook a vegan version of every national dish in the world. And in this episode, I'll be cooking a vegan version of the national dish of Benin, West African nation. I'm going to show you where it is on the map. The Republic of Benin is a French-speaking West African nation located just here, with the majority of the population living in the southern part of the country. It has a tropical climate, highly dependent on agriculture, and it's a large exporter of palm oil, amongst other important agricultural products. Staple foods include corn, rice, beans, couscous, and tomatoes, which are often made into very flavorful dishes. So Benin, birthplace of voodoo. Ooh. It's a country where meat is rarely eaten. The national dish, Akkra Funfun, is vegan anyway, which is awesome. Don't have to alter anything, don't have to have any substitutes for any meat or anything like that. This dish is already vegan. Now, what is Akkra or akara? It's basically a dough made of mashed up beans, deep fried in palm oil. Now, Akkra or akara in some regions is a dish that was very, very important for the Yoruba tribe, which is a tribe that inhabits a large part of that Western African area. It was traditionally prepared on the death of an elder, so a very important ceremonial dish. It's also the origin of acarajé, which is a dish you can find in northeast Brazil. The transatlantic slave trade brought a lot of slaves from West Africa to Brazil, and that's where the origins of that dish can be found. Nowadays, it's really popular in Benin and some other countries around there. It's a good source of protein for them. They don't eat much meat, they don't have much access to sort of first-class proteins, and it's quick and easy to make. Now, one of the differences from the Benin version of this compared to some other countries is that instead of using black-eyed peas or black-eyed beans, which they use in Brazil, they use in other Western African countries, they use white beans. So that's what I'm doing in this recipe. If you want to use black-eyed beans, I think it would be really delicious. I love black-eyed beans, use them a lot in my cooking. But for this version, I want to keep it as traditional as possible. We're going for the white beans. Now, with these white beans, you want to get the dried versions, don't get the tin versions, and you want to soak these overnight in water. No salt or anything, just good old water. Leave them overnight, and they will absorb those. They'll increase in size by about double, and then they're ready to use. Now, the other thing that's important to talk about is what to deep fry these in. So traditionally they use palm oil. Obviously there's a lot of controversy about palm oil, and rightly so. There's a lot of it which is very unsustainable. It's pretty unethical to purchase, in my opinion. I've actually got a sustainable palm oil here. So if you can find a sustainable palm oil, check where it's from, do a bit of research. I did a bit of research on this one. It's from sustainable farmers in Ecuador. You also want to get the red palm oil, so not just the standard palm oil that goes into a lot of like your fast foods and things like that. You need the red palm oil, which is the good stuff. Now, if you can't find that or you don't want to buy palm oil, you can use peanut oil. That's absolutely fine. In this dish, I'm actually going to use a mixture of the two. But you could use one or the other or a blend, up to you. Alrighty, that's enough from me. Let's get making some Akkra Funfun.
Take 270 grams of pre-soaked dried white beans and add to a large pan of boiling water. Cook over a medium heat for 40 minutes and scoop out that scummy froth every now and again. Drain the beans and set aside. Get out your blender or food processor and add half a chopped onion and the cooked beans. Blitz those up to a hummus-like consistency and transfer to a mixing bowl. Add a tablespoon of white flour, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, and 60 ml of water. Mix thoroughly until all the ingredients are evenly distributed. Next, heat a pan over a high heat and add some red palm oil and peanut oil. You can choose to use just one type of oil. Just make sure there's at least 3 centimeters of oil in the pan. To test the temperature, put a tiny bit of the paste into the pan. If it sizzles, it's hot enough. Form the paste into small balls and add to the hot pan, squashing them down a bit as you do. Mine were around golf ball size, but you can make them bigger if you like. Take care not to overcrowd the pan. It's better to fry off in multiple batches than do all of the mix at once. Cook for around 3 minutes on one side, then flip the balls over and cook for another 3 minutes until golden and crispy. Pop the akara onto some kitchen towel, then serve straight away.
Voila! Here it is. Benin, Akkra Funfun. They look bloody amazing. Gonna give a try. Oh! That is awesome. I didn't know what to expect from this dish, but that is good. If you want a lovely snack to go with a drink on the weekend, this is amazing. Now, I've actually got my mate Fernando here, so I'm going to get him to come on and see what he thinks. He's not an expert in West African food, but
definitely not.
He does eat with his mouth, so give it a
go. I'll try this.
Oh yeah.
That is actually really good.
Oh yeah. Good. Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh, I'm going to eat all the crumbs.
There we go. Maybe he doesn't eat with his mouth. Anyway, thank you, Fernando.
That is great.
Enjoy them. Take them if you like. Go.
I'll go, actually.
Yeah. Alright, that was a success. If we're going to drink wine with that, that'd be great with some beer, but if you're going to drink wine with that, I want something like white and light, probably. So I'm going to go with the Portuguese Vinho Verde, which is a really light, like almost, it's a white wine, but it's got like a green tinge. That's why it's called Vinho Verde, which means green wine in Portuguese. That'd be great with that. But definitely try that dish. It's pretty easy. It's already vegan. You don't need to change any ingredients. And it was awesome. So, thanks for watching. Join me next time where I'll be cooking a vegan version of the national dish of Bhutan. Au revoir.